Things that the Department of Justice wants Albuquerque cops to stop doing is shooting at moving vehicles. That would be a big change for APD. But even if it happens, a lot of other New Mexico police departments will still allow it. News 13's Tina Jensen is live downtown with that story. Tina?
Dick, the feds say the risks are obvious. If an officer fires at a moving vehicle and misses, they could hit an innocent person or leave the driver dead with the vehicle moving out of control. Some of the most controversial officer-involved shootings involve cars, like this one from last year when a state police officer fired at a minivan full of kids near Taos. CBS correspondent John Miller weighed in on the shooting.
The problem is when you're shooting at a moving car, it's inherently ineffective. It almost never stops the car. And it's also dangerous.
The feds agree. In the Department of Justice report on APD, the feds say the best practices for law enforcement agencies are to not fire at a moving vehicle at all.
We found that officers used deadly force against people who did not pose an immediate threat of death or serious harm to the officers or to others, and against people who posed a threat only to themselves.
The report cites the fatal shooting of Mickey Owings as he was fleeing a Walmart parking lot, saying he didn't threaten anyone's life and that the damage to property, as serious as it was, didn't justify taking his life. They also said officers ultimately threatened other lives after he died while the vehicle was moving. Even if APD changes, other big New Mexico agencies still allow officers to fire at a moving vehicle. The Bernalillo County Sheriff's Department says firing at a vehicle is a last resort, and a supervisor has to authorize it. State police policy says there has to be an imminent threat, and they can't shoot if it's a big risk for officers or others. Last November, when 39-year-old Jeanette Anaya refused to pull over, a state police officer fired 16 shots at her car, killing her. Her family is suing. Despite all this concern, the New Mexico Law Enforcement Academy reportedly recently began teaching officers for live fire vehicle stops. The LEA wouldn't comment, neither would any of the departments we mentioned that allow officers to shoot at cars. Back to you.
Okay, Tina.